Hello, class. I will be your instructor for today, and today I will be going over a skill that is extremely important for teaching and a skill that you must have in order to be a successful teacher today or anytime, really. So, the skill that I will be going over is teaching to diversified classes. That is something that I have learned much about, studied much about, and the main thing is giving each student equal amount of attention and helping them with each of the assignments presented for that day. A big problem that many people face with this is stereotypes that they will have pre-developed in their head going into the lesson. Say they are teaching a specific subject that historically one ethnicity or race has done well in. So they'll get to the class and they'll see students of that race or ethnicity. They will feel that they don't have to help those students as much as they will already know it, which is not true. Or, for example, if it is a subject that they feel that, like this group of people, because of their, economic class, may not do as well as well, and so they might not spend as much time on them due to stereotypes of like, oh, they might not attend college anyway due to their social class. That is part of the problem where these people can't make it out of because of these pre-developed stereotypes. So the example I will be giving to everyone today, I will be teaching to a class of, I will make it known that all different diversities, economic classes, everything. And I will give the example of what I am doing to make sure that I am teaching correctly to a diversified audience, that each student will get the same amount of attention as the student before them. So I will hand out papers, each of the students in the class. Go. Here you go. So, everyone have their papers? All right, so what we will be going over today is SAT prep, but the focus of this, which I will be teaching to you guys, is how, for example, say someone comes into a class where half of the class is from high-income families that have had a lot of money and tutoring already. So a teacher may have stereotypes placed on those students and already expect them to, oh, these will be the kids going to college, will more likely to go over these other kids who come from a lower economic background, who, they'll be more likely to forego college and go straight to work to help their family. So that is a problem that people don't get teaching diversified classes, that you have to treat every student the same in order to be a good teacher. So with this, I will do, say this student A is from a wealthy class, is struggling with an assignment. So is student B, who is from a less fortunate class, is also struggling with an assignment. I will make sure I will spend the same amount of time and effort helping student A and student B. I will not give one less attention than the other. Another way that teachers can, that students can fall behind in diversified classes because teachers aren't prepared to teach them, is like racial. For example, say in their city schools, if there's a student who comes from a long line of family who none of them have went to college, they all have, possibly got in trouble or just dropped out of high school, and another student that comes from a long line of very successful people in their family, same thing, you spend the same amount of time with the student who comes from, the troubled background than the student who comes from the successful background. Because if you play into these meditated stereotypes, that's the reason these, trends continue generation over generation. It's never going to get better if the teacher isn't able to help it. This also comes into more tricky things too when race comes involved. If, say, a student is a specific race who historically performs very well in the subject, and that student is struggling a little bit, and so is another student who There's no premeditated stereotypes towards that subject. Just because you may expect one student to already be good at the subject, if they start struggling, you have to spend the same amount of time helping them as you would the other student. Same thing as if a student is, due to their race, historically looked at as not being as good in that subject. If they're in that class, you have to completely ignore that. Treat them as if they are the same thing as another student who either is looked at to be good at that subject or has no expectations at all. You have to give each and every student the same amount of attention. So basically what I'm trying to get at is, especially in today's climate, like, we're just like so far ahead as a society where there's going to be tremendous amounts of diversity in all classes. That's, the way America is today. And if you want to be a teacher in the current climate, you have to be able to teach to these diversified audiences, or else students are going to fall behind because of you, which will negatively impact them due to their race or economic class. That will continue these trends that have been over generations that we are trying to break today. So hope everyone enjoyed this lesson and learned a lot from it. Thank you.